All right, it is end of December and I'm going to give you a quick greenhouse tour and update to see how the grow lights as well as the plants that are doing overwintering in the greenhouse are doing. So first up, let's take a look at the grow light systems. So over here, what I've done a cluster of the plants that really love the sunshine. So my palms and tomatoes, etc., my lemon tree are kind of all hanging out together over here. But let's take a close look at some of the flowers and how they're doing. Ones that, like I said, are just overwintering and hanging out, and then others that we're trying to seed or propagate. Everything down here, including the Dusty Miller, are all propagated as of the end of summer and doing extraordinarily well. Our herbs, the sage, basil, oregano, came in from outside, are doing okay. The other basil, the Italian basil, doing just fine. My tomatoes are continuing to grow, even though I'm so surprised. It's rather cool here. It's about 65, maybe 55 at night, but they are doing it well, and they are starting to throw off some flowers, so we'll get ready to pollinate those pretty quick. On first level, this is propagation land and a little bit of spinach down there and some Brussels sprouts, and they're all doing really good under the grow lights. This is propagation over here of geraniums, lavender, pachysandra, Dusty Miller. Some are doing well, others will probably take them out and pitch them probably in the next week or so if they don't take off a little bit more. Then some of these are our seed starters. So I have tomatoes in this first row, experimenting with sunflowers, growing them inside, and so far they are going crazy. Next section are a few more tomatoes. I have a couple that have sprouted. I just set them up probably about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. A little bit of eggplant. I don't see any activity on that. And then I'm experimenting with some zucchini, which it looks like we have a little bit of germination going on right there. So far so good. Next level is some of my older plants that were propagated. So this little piece of lavender, or I should say this big lavender plant, started from one tiny sprout and has been doing fabulous. I will tell you, my lavender propagation has been going very well. And we're soon ready to put them in a little bit bigger of a pot. Dill from seed, doing very well. One of my favorite things is, it was a trial of a sunflower. I don't know if it's focusing, and it is getting ready to flower. Kind of funny. Again, more propagation of the lavender. A very old amaryllis that I stuck in some dirt. Let's see if it actually goes ahead and does it. My mint. Sad lavender, which I think is not going to make it. A little bit of oregano that was in the, I will call it my little hospital here. A lavender plant that was in the plant hospital. Basil that I think is just not going to make it. A nice geranium that has propagated well from a cutting. Quite pleased with that. And let's go over to the other area. Oh, I know some of you asked me how my lemon tree was doing. It's doing pretty good. Again, no more flowers. It's just kind of hanging out. I think that's what it's going to do here for the winter. Again, succulent update. This was a succulent planter that I had gotten from Home Depot that looked half dead, and it has really taken off. I did a ton of cuttings from them, and those are doing well. A couple other succulents. My catnip, which I harvest every 3 days, it's just going wild in there, and the cats are loving every bit of it. Some of my succulent cuttings that have already shown some roots in it, so I'm quite pleased. Some more of my bigger lavender that I'm getting ready to convert and put into a bigger planter. My lettuce, which I've harvested several heads from here now. I need to probably harvest these because my secondary lettuce is starting to take off and needs a little bit more light and a little bit more room to grow. This is my next round of seedlings. So-so, that's what I'm going to say. Some Dianthus, not, you know, couple coming up. I have some giant dahlias starting to come up. I have some gomphrena coming up, some snapdragons that are starting to come up. My lemon gem marigolds coming up nice, and then experimenting with ornamental kale, which again, because it's a cold weather plant, I think is doing better than others. My Shasta daisy, my propagated geranium, and then a ton of marigolds that are doing quite well. So all in all, I think it's going successful on my grow light system. I do have some unboxing of those that I will show you. So let's do a tour of the daylight of overwintering plants and cutting them back. These are all my purple fountain grasses that I divided each of them. They were all about that center size. When you look at that one big plant right there, they were all about that size. I divided each of them into 4, cut them all back, and they're all already starting to send up new shoots and doing quite well. So I think I have some success in the propagation of purple fountain grass. And then all of my planters right now that are just overwintering. And once I get flowers, I will start replanting to those. But for now, everybody's kind of healthy and just hanging out for the winter. Have some potato vines, some more planters. I have my little jungle of ficus trees, so I have 3 over here. One quite large one that overwinters in here. And then up on the top shelf, a myriad of Boston ferns, some spike plants that I'm going to tell you, the spike plants have tripled in size since I brought them in here. Look at that. They just must be loving the humidity. Look at the one up there. It's insanely huge. So I think everybody's happy in here for the winter, and hopefully they will continue to be that happy as time goes on. That was the end of December greenhouse tour. And again, it's a combination of greenhouse and then also grow light systems. So both are doing very well. And I'll get back to you and do another tour sometime mid-January, end of January, after many of the seedlings have hopefully started, and we'll go from there. All right, take care. See you on the next video. Bye-bye now.